Drop off. Morant.
There's 2 seconds. There's the knockdown.
I took every NBA player that has a 90 overall or better and put them on 4 different teams here. We got Team A, Team B, Team C, and Team D. This is going to be exciting because you're going to pick what team you have winning the championship and coming out on top. And we're seeing the greatest players all currently. They're not like in their prime. Like, this is old LeBron. This is young Luka, young Wemby. So pick your team. Let me know. And we're going to actually go through each team and see how well they're going to do. We got Team A right here. We got Jokic leading the way. We got Luka. We got Anthony Davis. We got Kyrie, Cunningham, Pontero, and Halliburton, right? So this is a solid team on Team A. Let me know if you're rocking with Team A. And they got a 98, 96, 96 overall rating. That's a pretty good team right there. And this is going to be the Dallas Mavericks team that we're using for Team A. Okay, guys? So let me know who got Team A. They're looking good. Team B, we got SGA, the MVP. We got Curry. We got Wemby, Anthony Edwards, KD, Dame Lillard, and Devin Booker. All right, so once again, Team B is looking pretty good. I think they are guard heavy. Let's see. SGA, Curry, that's 1, 2, Edwards, that's 3, Dame 4, Booker. They got a lot of guards, so that could be a detriment to Team B. Let me know if you're rocking with Team B, though, or you like Team A. Look at Team C, though. Can I interest you in Team C? We got Tatum, we got Donovan Mitchell, Joel Embiid, Evan Mobley, Jaylen Brown, Kawhi Leonard, and James Harden. So I like it. I think that's a good mix of power forwards, small forwards. You know what I mean? You got Embiid and Mobley, your big guys. I think this team can go far, the Sixers, just because I like their mix. You know what I mean? The rating isn't as high, but let me know if you got Team C. You rocking with Team C. Team D, we got Giannis, we got LeBron, we got Jalen Brunson. It kind of drops off after Giannis and LeBron. Karl Anthony Towns, Ja Morant, Trae Young, and Jaren Jackson Jr. So once again, they got a nice mix of guards and guards and big guys, forwards, centers, and whatnot. But let me know if you rock it with Team D, and it should be fun. It should be fun. I think I'm going to go with Team C overall, but, I could be wrong. After simulating the season, Dallas won 75 games, Phoenix won 63 games, Milwaukee won 59, and Philly won 58. So I think I thought I was making these teams like, as equal as possible, but I guess not if Dallas won 70 freaking 5 games. That's crazy. So I am excited. In round 1, we got Dallas versus OKC, the champs. But the champs, they do not have SGA. So this was a fun series. It was definitely back and forth. But when you win 75 games, you're number 1 for a reason. And they showed up and showed out with Luka and Jokic, and they had the MVP. You know what I mean? So when you got the MVP, things are supposed to go your way. Luka back in Dallas, teaming up with, some of his old guys in Dallas, in terms of role players. But I like that Jokic, Dallas, that Jokic and, Luka matchup. Not matchup, but, tag team. All right, in our next round, we had, so we had Phoenix. We have Phoenix and the Suns. Phoenix and Golden State playing up against each other. And once again, we got Curry going up against his old team. And this was a nice situation. So, obviously, they just left with Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green. So, but this was Phoenix all day as Curry went bombs away. And the East, we had the Bucks against the Hawks. And the Bucks, they did pick up a game. Not the Bucks, the Hawks, they did pick up a game. But overall, the Bucks had no problem with this team. It was back and forth. But, guys like Kyle Kuzma and whatnot, they wasn't going to do anything against this squad. And once again, they don't have Trae Young. Great series, but that went to the Bucks. And our last first-round matchup was the Sixers and the Toronto Raptors. And this was not close at all. It really wasn't. You know, it was all the Sixers, and rightfully so. These teams are elite and not to be trifled with. And I'm very excited to see, you know, how far this Sixers team can go. But yeah, you know, guys, you know, Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, that's a nice squad right there. And B, I am curious to see how far they will go overall. I think they can make a nice play for that Larry O'Brien championship trophy. But we got to see, because, you know, the Bucks are going to be in their way to see if they can punch their ticket to the finals. In the semifinals, the next round, right, we got Dallas and the Minnesota Timberwolves. And once again, this was all Dallas again, because that team is looking unstoppable. It really was. I mean, Minnesota did have they had their moments, not gonna lie. You know what I mean? But overall, Dallas just had better talent. They had better talent. They're bigger, they're better, they're stronger. You know what I mean? And ultimately, they're not to be trifled with. And they took this series no problem. And it was fun seeing Minnesota put up a fight, you know, with Rudy Gobert, Julius Randle, but that was really about it though. Next, this was a terrible tale. Phoenix goes down to freaking Sacramento Kings. Like, what happened? They put up a fight, but they lost in 7 games. And I just don't understand how this team could lose, how they did lose overall. And Sacramento, I mean, maybe because Sacramento, I didn't touch any of their players, you know what I mean? They didn't have any 90 overalls or better, so I don't know. I don't know how they fumbled the bag. They fumbled horribly, truly. They really did. But it was back and forth. It went, you know, I think the first 3 games actually went to Minnesota. Then Phoenix tried to make a comeback, but they just couldn't complete the comeback, fortunately, and they put themselves in a huge deficit. But yeah, so long, farewell to Phoenix. And the next round in the East, the Bucks handled their business. They really didn't have too much trouble. They went up against Indiana, but they didn't. Once again, we took their best player. We took Halliburton. He's on one of these beast teams, and they didn't have any problems. You know what I mean? And looking at Philly and Chicago, once again, that was an easy series for Philly because, you know what I mean? They're too strong. They're too powerful. You know what I mean? I don't know if they're on Dallas's level, but they definitely did their thing with Tatum, you know, Mitchell, and Embiid. That's a solid team. You know, they're all very solid teams. Chicago, I'm surprised Chicago even made it, to be honest with you. You know, they did keep game 2 close, but ultimately it just wasn't hitting for them. And it wasn't going to hit for them at all because they were going up against a beast team, and Chicago's not a beast team. Moving forward to the conference finals, we got Dallas and Sacramento. And although Sacramento had great success in the semifinals against the Phoenix Suns, which I'm still baffled about, it would be the Dallas Mavericks taking care of business here and making sure they came out to a commanding 2-0 lead on their home court. They will also go ahead and win in Sacramento, going up 3-0. And in Game 4, they also took Game 4 and swept the Sacramento Kings to go ahead and move on to the NBA Finals. And major props to Sacramento because, in my personal opinion, they had no business matching up against Dallas in the conference finals. This was supposed to be Dallas versus Phoenix. When I put these rosters together, when I thought about this video, I said my 4 super teams should be matching up. But in the East, we got the Bucks and the Sixers, and they definitely showed up and showed out. This was a fun series. it was back and forth, and Embiid actually was like, I thought he was gonna like, you know, kind of do his thing and like go off for like 60 points or something. But this went 7 games. And you know, I can't say enough about these two teams. They definitely showed up and showed out. And in our NBA Finals, it was the Bucks and the Mavs to move on. And much props to the Sixers, but you know, it was the Bucks who proved winners. And this was going to be a good matchup. This would go on to the first 2 games were for the Bucks actually, and I was surprised by that because I was like, hey, what's up with Dallas? And to my further surprise, it was the Bucks who took Game 3 as well, putting Dallas, the 75-win team, in a 3-hole deficit. Like, what happened? What's going on here? You know what I mean? And they just came out super strong, but Dallas did bounce back, and they were able to push this to a Game 7, and you know, really kind of show why they won 75 games in this regular season. You know what I mean? And but here's the thing, Giannis didn't let this go easily. He really didn't, you know. But overall, it was a back and forth series. It was tough. It was strong. It was intense. You know what I mean? I really wasn't sure if you know, who the winner was going to be. And I don't know. I feel like I'm milking this. Am I milking this? I don't know. You tell me. It was back and forth. It was definitely back and forth. But I'm going to spare you. Dallas won. Dallas won the championship. And they proved why they were the 75-win team overall. And they did their thing. And, you know, as expected, they should have won. And I'm not surprised they won. I'm surprised that the Bucks gave them as much trouble as they did. But congrats to the Dallas Mavericks, the 75-win team. They proved they were the best team and why they're the best team and won the championship. Luka actually got Finals MVP, which I was happy for the guy. Good job. But guys, let me know if you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you on the next one.